Hey guys, in this tutorial I will show you how you can create a quiz filter like this in the Spark AR Studio for Instagram, similar to the famous Guess the Gibberish filter on Instagram. Yeah, I will walk you through all the steps you need for this filter, from the assets creation, from the programming and also the animation. I will divide this video into two sections. The first section will be the basic functionality of this filter. So the first card shows up, then the question, and after this the answer. And the second section will be about the animation. So every time the cards change, that there will be this flip animation. And yeah, I hope you're ready. And yes, we can start. Let's go. Hey again, so let's create this quiz filter. Before we start programming the filter, we have to make sure that we create our assets. I created my assets in Sketch, and yeah, just make sure that your answers and your questions are named like this. So you need a letter and then 01 for the question, and then here for the answer A01. So yeah, Spark AR knows which one matches to which answer and question. So this is very important. You can create your assets in Illustrator, Photoshop, Canva, or any other app. You can design some assets. I design my assets in a squared format, so you can use transparency when you export them as PNGs. So I use a resolution of 500 pixels, and so it is easier when we have imported them to use them in plain. So after you have created your assets, just export them, and yeah, as I said, make sure you name them the right way. So again, Q01 for the question and A01 for the answer. So yeah, Spark AR knows how to match them correctly, and yeah, so Q02, Q03. So I hope this one was clear. If not, just leave me a comment. And yeah, let's move on to programming this filter. Before we start the programming, we have of course to import our assets. We import all of our assets as animation sequences. So the first sequence I will import are the question sequence. So just select all of them and then click on open. So this might take a while. It depends on the file size of your assets. And then one important step is to disable the compression. Spark AR has changed this feature, so now we have to do this 3 times and not click just on one button, but maybe they will bring this option back. So next one are the answer cards. So I will new texture and then select all my answer cards. So after selecting, just open. And the last animation sequence I will import are the counter. So we have imported all our sequences, and now I just named the animation sequences the right way. So questions, answers, and here is my counter. So I make sure that I don't get confused when I attach the different animation sequence to my materials. The last thing I want to import is the start card that shows up at first when you open the filter. So yeah, just import it from your computer, and this is not an animation sequence, this is just the start card which shows up at first. So I named this here Guess the question mark. So you can do this with whatever you want, so to make sure to set the tone of your filters. So everything is imported, and as I said, please disable the compression, because if you don't do this, the texture doesn't look that good. So after you have done this, we can now move on to building this filter. So at first I will create 4 materials. So for this, just create one material and then set the shader type to flat. After this, copy and paste these materials 3 times, and rename the materials to start, answers, questions, and the last one of course is the counters. So and now set the textures for them, and for the start texture, for the answers texture, for them the questions, and yes, for the counter of course the counter. So after you have done this, we have to create 4 plane elements. So also create one of them and then just copy and paste them. So also rename them to start, answers, questions, and the last one, counters. So also we have to add a null object, because the null object makes our handling of this so much easier. So just create this, I will call this cards, and then just select all the 3 planes we have created and drag and drop it into the cards null object. So now the planes are in the null object, and now you can attach the materials to the to the planes. So answers to answers, questions to questions, and the counter to the counter materials. So now you see that everything is running through, also the answers and the questions. For this, select all of them and here extract the current frame. So this shows up in your patch editor. We need them later, so it's good to extract them now, so this one stops running through. So now you can adjust the sizes of your cards. I will add another null object for the cards to separate it from the counter, so I can move the cards all at once and resize them all at once, and the counter also. So just drag and drop it into the null object. I will also call this card. And now we can just scale up this null object, and you will see all the cards are getting bigger, and now we can separately scale the counter to 0.3, I guess is a good size. So, and now move the counter a little bit up here at this point. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger, so yeah, you can also see them, and yeah, this looks good. And maybe reschedule the card, so we want the start at first, then it's the question, and then the answer appears. So just reload, and now you see it the right way. And one important step also is to select all the materials, and then advanced render options here, disable these 2 options, use dev test and write to dev. Now we want the cards above our head, so for this just create a face tracker and drag and drop the whole null object into the face tracker. Now the cards are following my face, but we have to move it a little bit up. So here it comes in handy that we have bundled them into the null object. So just select the null object, go to the position and set the Y position to, let's say, 0.12. And now I think that is here a good size and place of the cards. Now we have set up the scene. The next thing we have to do is to set up our programming in the patch editor. As I already said at the beginning, I will divide this into 2 sections. The first section will be to program the filter, and the second one is to add animation, so you have this flip animation, so it makes the filter more engaging. So I would say let's do this. So we have already extracted our current frames, so let's put them aside and start at the beginning. We want to start our filter with a screen tab, so we need a screen tab. After we have tapped the screen, we want to activate a switch, so this switch should be turned on. Then we need a delay, because we want the viewer of the story see the question at first, before the first question comes. So I will set the, we need a delay patch, and I will set the delay to let's say 2 seconds. You can vary this to fit your needs. So then we also need a pulse patch, and after this pulse we need a switch. So this switch triggers our start card to disable the start card, and then shows up the question cards. So we need a not patch, and then we have to extract the visibility of our start card from the scene. So just select the start plane and then go to the right hand side and extract the visibility. So just connect it to the nut, and then after the delay of 2 seconds is ready, this card will disappear and the first question will show up. Test this, simulate touch, and now after 2 seconds the guess the card should disappear and the first question should appear. But we want to randomize this question, so not this don't start with first question, so every time you start you record a new video there should be another question. So for this we need a randomize. So add a random patch to your patch editor and then connect the first switch with the randomize input of the randomizer. So there will automatically add a pulse patch, and after this we need a round patch. So now one thing is really important to make sure the randomizer works the right way. We have to set the start range to -0.4 and the end range to the amount of the cards we have. We have 10 cards here, -0.6, so the end range is 9.4. So, and after it rounds it to a whole number. So here we have to connect the answer and the question current frame we have already extracted at the beginning, and now when we start the filter again it should show up random questions. So okay, this is the one. Let's do it again. Maybe it was just coincidence, and yes, now we have the 6th question here at the beginning. But now the answer of the questions don't show up, so we have to program this. For this we need a loop animation to set a counter. And this is more or less our timer. So at the second switch connect it to the enabler of the loop animation, and every time the 1 second ends it sends here a looped signal. And for this we need a counter to catch this loop signal and to count something. So when you put a value patch behind this counter you can see this counting up. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it starts at the beginning. We won't stop it, so set the maximum count to, let's say, 900 seconds. So now we need a greater than patch, because after the 5 seconds are over we want to show our answer to the users. So the first input of the value goes to this and the second one goes to 4, because it starts counting at 0 and then we need 4 as the last one. And here we also already can connect our counter to the counter current frame to our counter patch, and now it should count. Yes, it counts down, but when it is at 0 it should disappear and the next card should show up, so the answer card should show up. For this we need a not patch and also an and patch. Oh, not here, not with the value, we need to connect it to the greater than patch. So here the not, here the and, the second and input connects with the second switch here. The AND patch here makes sure that the counter appears after the delay of 2 seconds for the answer question card, and then shows up, disappears when the answer shows up. So I'm totally confused with question and answer. So yeah, now it disappears, but also this card should disappear and reveal the answer. So for this we have to extract our visibility of the answer card. So just extract this, and then connect it with the greater than badge. So the last thing we have to do that this filter works correctly is to disable our question card after the 5 seconds. So for this we have to create a switch patch and connect it with the greater than badge, and after the switch patch we need a NOT, and here we have to extract then our question visibility also and connect it with the NOT patch. Now when we restart our filter and tap on the screen, after 2 seconds this card disappears, the countdown starts with the question, and after the 5 seconds the answer appears. So yeah, this looks pretty good to me, but yeah, now we have a fully functioning question and answer filter, but let's make it a little bit more engaging when with adding some animations to this filter. So let's do this. For the animation I want to do some simple animations, so I want to flip the cards and then reveal the next phase of the filter. So start card flips to question card, and the question card flips to the answer card. So at first we have to add a delay. The delay badge is a really good friend, and I want to do the animation. Every animation should last 0.2 seconds. So we have to do some math, because we have to make sure this is synchronized. So the first delay has a duration of 2 seconds, so our delay here to start the animation needs to be 1.8 seconds, because then the animation takes 0.2 seconds, and then we have the 2 seconds, and then the card will also disappear. So it would be a bad idea to do the animation after the card disappears. So now we need an animation patch, and then we have to connect it, the output of the delay patch, to the play of the animation. Now we have an arrow because we need an pulse patch here also to connect it to the animation patch. So after this we need a transition patch. We need a transition patch for every element, so for the start card, for the question card, and for the answer card. So just copy and paste it 2 times, so you have 3 of them, and then we need also the values of our cards. So just go to your cards, select all of them, answer, question, and start card, and then go to the right hand side and here extract the rotation values. So now you have here the start, question, and answers, and here just connect the first to the start, the second to the question, and the last to the answers. So now it's getting a little bit complicated, but you just have to follow me and your filter will work the right way. So now we need some if and else statement. So if then else, we need 3 of them, so also create 1 and then just duplicate it, but 2 of them has to be vector free, so just change the settings from number to vector free for 1 and also for the second one. Now we need another animation patch, and we already know that when we do an animation patch we also need a pulse patch. Just connect the greater than to the pulse and the pulse to the animations. We have to connect the greater than also to all 3 of our if statements. So if this is that, it should be do this. This is the short explanation of an if statement, but yeah, just connect this and the last one to this one. So let's connect this batches together. Here the first animation output of the progress goes to the second input of the first if statement, and this output of the animation, the progress, goes to the first input of this if statement. So this if statement goes to this progress here, so to the question, because the question has to be triggered 2 times. At the first when this card disappears, and the second time when the question turns to the answer card. So that's why we need this if statement, and yeah, we can connect this animation sequence progress to the answer, and the first one we can connect the progress also to the start card. Now we have to put in here some values. For the start card, we need to start at 0, 0, 0, and the end we need at minus 180 degrees. And here we need the second if statement, so let's connect this to this and this one to this. So here for the if statement, make sure the then is to 0, 0, 0 and the else is to 180, 0, 0. And for the second one, minus 180 and else 0, 0, 0. So this sounds a little bit complicated, but yeah, it makes sense when we start the animation. And yes, here we have also make sure that our start is at 180, 0, 0 and at the end at 0, 0, 0. This is the patch editor, how it should look like, but there is one important thing missing, because we need also a delay here. So this starts a little bit delayed so we can see the animation. So insert a delay patch and set the duration of 0.2 and connect the greater than to the input and then the output to the burst. And now, fingers crossed, the filter should work. Let's click. Here we have the animation, but you can see it's a little bit slow because we have to also set our animation speed the right way, because this is standard at 1, but we also have to set the duration of the animation to 0.2 also for this animation. And now it should have the right speed. So let's check it again. Restart the filter, simulate touch, and now the first one works, the counter counts down, and also the second animation works just fine. So yes, this was a longer tutorial than my last ones. I hope you could follow through. If not, take your time and watch and re-watch the video. Here is also the tree again, so you can rebuild this, and also here the animation. So as I already said, you don't need the animation, so I will comment this out here, comment around, and yes, this is optional, and that the filter works, you just need this tree here. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If yes, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, it would be cool when you subscribe to it. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.